होने में और बहुत कुछ होने में इतना सा फर्क है, एक बार सोच के छोड़ देने में और लग के कर दिखाने में। मान लेने में कि जिंदगी ऐसे ही कटेगी और सुबह 4 बजे उठ के सोचने में कि अभी तो बस शुरुआत है। किसी मैगजीन को हाथ में लेने में और उसी मैगजीन के कवर पेज पे होने में इतना सा ही तो फर्क है। वीआईपी सीट में और उसकी पिछली सीट में इतना सा ही तो फर्क है। वो जिसका मैदान ही खुला आसमान है, वही कल जमीन पर तो था। पूछोगे तो बताएगा वो पंछी कि एक दायरे में सिमटने में और पूरी दुनिया को दायरा बनाने में बस इतना सा फर्क है। इतना कितना है? इतना है या इतना है? जो नापेगा वो जाने कि जहां धरती और आसमान मिलते हैं, नानकुर से दूर, अगर मगर शायद से दूर, वहां भी दोनों में फर्क बस इतना सा है। धरती और सातवें आसमान में फर्क बस इतना सा है। ये एक अंतर प्रेरणा है। ये हमारी, आपकी, हम सब की अंतर प्रेरणा है। एक कदम, एक छलांग, एक बाजी, एक गहरी सांस और एक ललकार खुली हवाओं में कि हाँ मैं बना हूं उन फिजाओं के लिए, कि हाँ मैं बना हूं उन ऊंचाइयों के लिए जो ऊंची तो बहुत है पर नामुमकिन भी नहीं, क्योंकि मुमकिन और नामुमकिन में बस इतना सा फर्क है। धूप छांव में फर्क बस इतना सा है। तो बस चलिए फ्रेंचाइज इंडिया के साथ ये फर्क मिटा देते हैं। Franchise India, 20 years of ideas.
Thank you so much, Kanika, for playing the corporate video Franchise India that truly depicts the kind of the vision, mission, and objective we follow every day. Franchise India teams welcome all of you to our digital representation and digital webinar under our business opportunity with Chai. Our aim and objective is to present maximum business opportunities during the day. This particular webinar is hosted by management team of Franchise India, Gaurav sir and Sonia ma'am. It's a 45-minute session where first we'll invite the brand founders and the leadership team to talk about the great opportunity they have got for all of you. And then we'll move towards the panel discussion. We welcome the entire team of brand for this particular webinar. I also invite and welcome our very senior resource, our consultant Anshul Bansal, as well as Prashant. They'll be taking all your queries during our panel discussion. The business opportunity which we are bringing and inviting our brand to represent is EMOI. It's a leading ice cream brand from the north of India. And you can start this particular business with just an investment of 6 lakh rupees. They are offering master as well as unit franchise for all our investors. Thank you so much, the entire team of EMOI, to joining in today. We introduced Mr. Verma. We invite and welcome Mr. Rajiv, Nupur, as well as Amit, to share their vision as well as their business opportunities. So thank you so much for joining in today. Before we formally start with the presentation, may I invite Mr. Verma to give us the note how he started this particular journey and what is the vision of EMOI. Thank you so much, sir. Over to you.
Hi, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Anant Verma, and I'm the founder of this brand called EMOI. EMOI is basically an artisanal ice cream and gelato brand. We're based out of Delhi, NCR. Before I take you to the brand, I would want to give you a brief about my background. I'm basically a hotelier by qualification. I'm a IHM PUSA 94 pass out. And before starting EMOI in 2017, I spent my last 17, 18 years with DLF. I used to head their entire F&B and entertainment verticals. So TT Cinemas, Cyber Hub, right from the strategy to conceptualization, to leasing, to operating Cyber Hub, their entire food court business, their F&B leasing across all their malls and their sold malls in Gurgaon. I used to head all these verticals and used to also take care of BTL and signage business pan-India. I moved out in 2017, and since I was a hotelier and from the F&B background, I wanted to do something in the same line of business, but I wanted to set up something which was not very high on CAPEX and not very high on OPEX. I had seen F&B business very, very closely. I had seen the reasons why these businesses failed and what happened after they failed. So we wanted to do something where we were not spending a lot of capex. We were affordable. We were movable. We were, not operating on very high rentals. We were not operating on very high electricity and air conditioning costs, and also not on very heavy manpower costs. So that is how EMOI came into existence. Archana, can we please start the presentation?
Thank you so much, Mr. Verma, sharing your exciting story with us. We'll start with the presentation. I hope you can able to see the screen.
Yeah. Before I take you to the presentation, I want to introduce my team with you. I have with us Mr. Rajiv Chawla. He is the CEO of the company. He's been an F&B person throughout. He has about 30 years of experience in QSR and especially in ice creams. He's worked with brands like Baskin Robbins, Cream Bell. He was heading Gelato Vento before he joined us. We have with us Ahmed. Ahmed is again an F&B professional. Ahmed looks after the purchases and logistics for EMOI. He was also part of DLF for almost about 17, 18 years. He's ex-PVR Cinemas. He takes care of all the purchases, all the logistics, which are a very important component of our business, since we are based out of one location and we need to transfer the stocks to every location. We also have with us Nupur, who heads the brand marketing for us. She is again somebody who's done a lot of work as far as the marketing goes for QSR, restaurants, and even the FMCG brands. She was the marketing head for Cyber Hub. She's been with major brands. She's worked for Good Earth, the brand, and she now helps EMOI in conceptualizing the marketing strategy. So this is our core team. EMOI is a French word. The actual meaning of EMOI is actually emotion. The correct pronunciation of EMOI is actually EMOI, but since people here call us EMOI, we've also started calling ourselves EMOI. The reason we selected this name was because since our concept was these ice cream trucks and ice cream tuk-tuks, which also brought back a lot of nostalgia and our childhood memories. So we thought, we should do something which could relate to that nostalgia, and that is why this name EMOI. This also rhymes with something which the millennials are very used to, which is the emojis, and also signifies the product, because our USP and our main star product, our ice creams, are shaped like emojis. So thus this name EMOI is what we selected. Can we go to the next slide, please? So we are basically handcrafted ice creams and gelatos. We are primarily a gelato brand, but since FSSAI does not have any classification of gelato as a category, we call ourselves premium ice creams. We are a pure dairy vegetarian ice cream, which are handcrafted. Each product is made with hand, packaged with hand individually. So the difference between an handcrafted brand like us and somebody like a Quality Walls or somebody like a Cream Bell is that we make our ice creams in very, very small batches. We don't use continuous freezers. And once these ice creams are made in batch freezers, which are again Italian machines, we don't incorporate a lot of air in the product to increase the volume. So the mouthfeel of our product and the texture of our product is much better than what you see in for the ice cream brands like Quality Walls or Cream Bell. Brands like Quality Walls use a lot of vegetable fat, but we are a pure dairy fat product. And apart from doing these handcrafted ice creams, which are basically gelatos on sticks, We also do these amazing looking shareable jars, which are 450 ml jars, which are now present in retail. And we have them in about 7 to 8 flavors. Next slide, please. So what you see on screen are the real pictures of the ice creams. The paw-shaped ice cream is a coffee ice cream. Then there's a red velvet. So nobody in India is doing these kind of shapes, and nobody's been able to, package them and put them in retail. We worked very closely with a multinational like DuPont on the recipes and our stabilizers to make the shelf life of the product till about 9 to 12 months. If you look at our jars, these jars are also very different from what you see in the market. Most brands will never package, the ice cream brands will never package their product in a transparent jar. Reason being, again, the air incorporation during the process of making of ice cream. Since we are confident about our product, and God forbid, even if there is a temperature shock during the logistics, our product does not settle down. It maintains the volume because there is hardly any air in the product. That's the reason we've been able to package our product in a transparent PET jar, which is again reusable. The kind of flavors we do, nobody else does it. We've seen a lot of artisanal brands in our country also who have, not grown beyond 1 or 2 parlors. We are somebody who's not only gone till about 15 outlets pre-COVID, we've also packaged our products and we put them in the modern trade and also on the online platforms. This is something no other brand in the country has been able to do, because people limit themselves to just 1 shop or 2 shops. And now we are looking at increasing our reach and increasing the market penetration and going to other cities, taking the franchise route. Next slide, please. Since these, like I said, that we've worked on a mobile model. So the advantage of the mobile model is very simple. In case your particular location doesn't work, you can actually shift the entire outlet to another location without losing any money on the capex. These tuk-tuks actually can go to various events. They can go to food festivals. And we've done that. We've taken them to India Art Fair in Jaipur. We've done Comic-Con. We've done all the food festivals hosted by Zomato. The product is now packaged. It is available in modern trade. It is available on online platforms. We also have a range of these jars which are natural. We are coming up with more flavors in sugar-free variants. So if you want to do an apple-to-apple comparison of a contemporary looking ice cream parlor vis-a-vis EMOI, we don't place ourselves in shops or in leasable kiosks. We only take up common areas, we take up atriums in the malls, we take up drop-off zones where the rentals are very, very low. We don't need any drain points. The tuk-tuk is self-sufficient. We only need an electrical connection to get going. In case there's an event happening somewhere else in the mall, this tuk-tuk can actually travel and be part of that event, whether it is happening in a common area in the atrium, whether it is happening somewhere near the parking or a hub somewhere. So this tuk-tuk can actually travel to those places. Looking at the manpower cost, we can operate with a maximum of 2 people. In certain places, we only have 1 person and we only need a reliever during his weekly holiday to kind of come and relieve him. Minimal manpower, minimal energy, minimal resources, and minimal capex is what our key is and our USP is. Next slide, please. So like I said, we are available on various online platforms, Big Basket, Ping, Satva, Swiggy Instamart, we will be soon be available on Zomato, LBB, single origin. You can look at us on Zomato and Swiggy and order us in Delhi NCR. We are also looking at expansion in Chandigarh. Chandigarh, we have one outlet operational in Elante Mall, and we have signed 4 or 5 modern trade stores also in Chandigarh. So in Chandigarh also, we are trying to now reach out to more people. Next slide, please. So this is what our various models look like. The first green or a teal color to auto you looking at, this is what we take to various events and food festivals, marriages, birthday parties, caterings. This tuk-tuk can actually travel on road. This can go to colleges, universities, schools, wherever you have the crowd. This can even travel to various locations during various parts of the day. Morning you can be in a certain place. Afternoon you can go to a school. Evening you can go to the high street. So instead of being fixed to one location, this tuk-tuk actually covers a lot of places in one particular day, depending on the hours of business that particular area has. The second picture, what you're looking at is the EMOI land, where you've seen the tuk-tuk and a child eating an ice cream. This is what we set up at Select. We are on the 2nd floor in Select City Walk. This is like a small play area for kids. People come here, buy ice creams, click pictures, spend time. A lot of people post these pictures on Instagram because of the way the outlet has been made and the way the product is. If you're looking at a simple kiosk, the third picture is our parlor picture, which is again a small, a cabinet, refrigerated cabinet at the back, and the display freezer in the front. Then we have the kiosk, which we designed for a central atrium where we needed a 360-degree approach. Since our concept was always mobile tuk-tuks, rickshaws, we designed our kiosk like a car, and this is something you can see at the Pacific Mall, Ghaziabad. Next slide, please. So this is where all these outlets are present. Our tuk-tuk is there in Cyber Hub, Pacific, Mall of India, Noida. The tuk-tuk is actually parked on the 4th floor in the food court. Chandigarh Elante Mall. Tuxi is present in 32nd Milestone in Gurgaon. EMOI land is at Select City Walk. Kiosk is at Central Plaza, Hardy Mall, and also Pacific Mall in Ghaziabad. So if you look at the various models, we are quite flexible. We can adapt to the location, size, and the kind of business you're looking at. We are not very stringent about the model. I think as business entrepreneurs, you can decide what kind of model suits you, what kind of space availability is there, what kind of rentals you guys can afford, and we can accordingly customize the model for you guys. So apart from doing the B2C business, we are also into B2B. We are working with some top caterers in Delhi NCR. We only look at premium events. Some of the known names in the catering market in Delhi NCR are associated with us. We are empaneled with Oberoi's and Taj for their supplies, for their banquets. Whenever they have any customized request, they reach out to us and we make those ice creams. So since we are doing everything in small batches, we are able to do customized solutions for large hotels or caterers also. Next, please. So these are the various coverages and communities which have written about us, acknowledged us, may it be Gurgaon Moms, What's Up Gurgaon, LBB, D for Delhi, So Delhi, we've been covered in Economic Times couple of times. We've had coverage in Brunch. So, people in Delhi NCR are fairly familiar with the brand. They know what this brand is all about, what the product looks like. And because we are so different in our presentation and in our look and feel, people can acknowledge us and recognize us from a distance. Next slide, please. So we were nominated for the best ice creams when we started off. We were the most sold QSR brand on the Easy Diner platform. One of the reasons I would say, we kind of were able to achieve this is because of the pricing strategy, because we focus very closely on what our TG is and what their preferences are. The entire team has actually stood on the carts and sold ice creams for about a year to get the customer feedback firsthand. So we knew what was working, what wasn't, and if there were any changes, we made them immediately. There was no time wasted in decision making. So I think that also helped us a lot. Next slide, please. I have already told you about my background. So I think we've already gone through this. Like I said, I am basically an F&B professional who's worked in retail, F&B, set up businesses, sold businesses to various large companies, and now I'm an entrepreneur for the last 4 years. So if you look at the opportunity, India, Thailand, China are the fastest growing ice cream markets. And after Corona, we have realized that people have also started investing in experiences, in quality. That is when we've actually seen a rise in our sales on our outlets also. We have 10 outlets which are operational right now, and there's a significant increase in the sales compared to what we did 2 years back, because last year we were shut. But if you do a month-on-month comparison with 2019, I think on the outlet level we are doing much better right now. Like I said, the market is estimated to grow by 12 to 13%. The per capita consumption in India is very, very low right now, but that also brings in a huge opportunity. So our TG is basically starting from a 14, 15-year-old child to a 45-year-old, and look at our country. We're the youngest country in the Northeast Asia, Southeast Asia, or Asia, if you may say. And the kind of growth these cities have seen in terms, these countries have seen in terms of people spending on experiences, aspirational buying, spending on holidays, indulgence. I think brand like us really benefit from those kind of customers. So in terms of our placement compared to the other artisanal brands or the larger brands, I think we are very, very moderately or very rightly priced. But in terms of quality, we are comparable to a Häagen-Dazs or a Baskin Robbins in terms of our presentation, in terms of our packaging, in terms of the flavors. We make sure that we are of top-notch quality. Our ingredients are top-notch. We work with some of the best companies in terms of flavors, equipment, supplies, to make sure that our product is top-notch. Next slide, please. So like I said, the way we are different is that we are present across all formats. It is an artisanal product range, established proof of concept. We've been operating for 4 years now in Delhi NCR. We have set up the proof of concept. We are not a new company or a new business. We've learned our way through, with time and adapted and modified ourselves. And now we are ready to scale. The product acceptance and the return clientele is immense. People recognize the brand. We have the natural and vegan product offering. And like I said, we are made in small batches. So that makes us very different from what is available in the market. So we are here to discuss the franchise proposal. We are also looking at a single franchise and also multiple franchise or a city franchise. Like I said, the brand has already established the proof of concept. We are ready to now scale up. We are open to going to other cities. We know the supply chain quite well. There have been cases where we've actually supplied ice cream to cities like Pune and Mumbai, and we know how this works now. The supply chain, in terms of the locations, we are open to high streets, we are open to malls, we are open to commercial buildings, we are even open to large campuses, or universities. Wherever we have our DG, we are open to opening our outlets there. So for the master franchisee, the key role of the master franchisee would obviously first be to open his own outlet and establish the brand in the city, and then look for investors or partners in that city, and increase the penetration in that particular city. We will be hand-holding and supporting in terms of operations. Master franchisees would be trained in our outlets in Delhi NCR before they start operations in their own outlets. We will ensure that all the brand guidelines are followed. We don't want to dilute the brand by signing up somebody who's not familiar with this line of business. So although we've made it fairly simple for everybody, but it is important to have somebody who's genuinely interested and understands this line of business before they take a plunge into this. On the unit franchisees, we are looking at, like I said, we are looking at high streets, malls, commercial buildings. We will be helping you with the local store marketing strategy. We will be marketing your stores on the brand level. Also looking at helping you wherever you need help in terms of operations, in terms of logistics, in terms of signing up with various platforms like Swiggy and Zomato. So since we have done this, we understand this fairly well. We will be there to support the master franchisees and the unit franchisees. Next slide, please. So if we sign a master franchisee, we would also want them to look after the entire city and also take care of the other lines of business or other channels of businesses also, which may include the HoReCa supply. Obviously, as a master franchisee, you will also be taking care of the unit franchisees there, supplying to them. We can also look at a tie-up or a sign up with hotels or restaurants there, where the master franchisee can take the relationship forward and look at the supplies and payments and everything in the particular city. One thing more, which I think I missed in the master franchisee thing, since the product is now packaged, we would also look at our master franchisee to establish our modern trade and general trade presence in that particular city. Like in Delhi NCR, we are now present in almost about 125 stores. We only look at A category or modern trade stores like 24/7 or a Modern Bazaar or a La Marche or a Needs or a Garg Dastak. So if a master franchisee wants, they can also partner with us and look at growing the brand in the retail, in the modern trade, and also in the general trade. These are the various formats. This is what we can do from various formats. Tuk-tuk is something which needs to be parked in the common area, does not need an outlet. You can sell sticks from there, you can sell jars from there, you can do scooping from there. Tuxi, since there's a space constraint, a little bit of space constraint, you can't do so much of scooping there, but jars and sticks can be done from a Tuxi. Kiosk can again do the entire menu plus the shakes. Parlor can do shakes. We are now changing our Saket outlet to a parlor where we are looking at doing waffles, we're looking at doing affogatos, we're looking at doing shakes. So parlor obviously gives you an advantage of space, and you can do many more things apart from just scooping or sticks or jars in a parlor. Next slide, please. So for the master franchisee, obviously we would need the assistance, and we will be handholding the master franchisee to look at the best location. In terms of operations, we're looking at the interaction with the client, the inventory management, billing, softwares, and that will be the key role of the master franchisee. They have to know what is the business, how does the business work, how does the portioning work to avoid any kind of pilferages. Marketing, like I said, on the local store marketing level or on the brand level, we will be there to support the brand. Financials, there's a significant ROI based on the projections we give, and we are very, very conservative in terms of our projections. Since the capex is low, the payback can actually be within a year to 9 months, and that is what our the sales projections and our unit economics also show. The ideal partners for us would be the people who are first timers. We could also look at people who've already been doing various F&B businesses or have retail shops in high streets. We can make a cutout in the shop and actually start this parlor on a high street, or people who are connected in universities and schools where these tuk-tuks can be parked. So it is a fairly fluid model, very adaptable. So whoever feels that they are able to spare about 2-3 hours in a day and want to set up a line of business on site while they're doing something else, I think this is an ideal business for them. For the unit franchise, the franchise fees right now is 4 lakh rupees. We have not kept it very high. The total investment, for a unit franchise may vary from 7 lakhs to 10 lakh rupees, depending on the model you sign. For the master franchisee, again, since you will be signing at least one outlet of your own, the unit franchise, the unit franchise formula will again be applicable. So you'll be paying 4 lakh rupees for one outlet, and then for the subsequent outlet, whatever you commit for that particular city, there'll be some security deposit, and we will be sharing the franchise fees as and when it is collected by the master franchisee from various franchises in that city. We are right now keen to expand in North India. We are looking at cities which are in about 250 to 300 kilometers radius from Delhi NCR, since our production is based out of Delhi NCR. Having said that, we are open to other cities in the country also. Delhi NCR, our presence, we see that there's a potential of about 20-25 stores, out of which we have about 10 operational. Punjab, Chandigarh, Elante, we are operational. We again feel that a city like Chandigarh, Ludhiana, Amritsar, Jalandhar, and Patiala have a potential of about 12 to 15 outlets, because highways are a large opportunity in these cities. In Uttar Pradesh, we're looking at Kanpur, Meerut, Varanasi, Allahabad, and Agra. Uttarakhand, again, they have cities which have very high traffic from the tourists. So we are looking at Dehradun, Haridwar, Rishikesh, Nainital, Mussoorie, and Roorkee. Rajasthan, again, it's a good market for tourists. We are looking at about 8 to 10 stores in Jaipur, Jodhpur, Udaipur, Ajmer, and Mount Abu. Haryana, we are open to Karnal, Panipat, Rohtak, and Hisar. Himachal, we're looking at Shimla, Manali, Dharamshala, Solan, and Dalhousie. Again, looking at the tourist market. So if you look at the entire city bouquet, we are not trying to go to tier 3 cities right now or tier 2 cities. We are only looking at large cities in every state where we know there is a short potential, and we've already kind of seen what kind of potential these cities have. Like Punjab, we have only one outlet. There's a huge opportunity in Punjab. UP, we are still not operational. There's a huge opportunity in UP, Uttarakhand, Rajasthan, Haryana, and Himachal Pradesh. So the franchise document is fairly simple. We will help you with the training, marketing, recipes. Fortunately, there is not much which is happening on the outlet level, but your boys, and as a franchisee or a master franchisee, you will be trained at our outlets to handle the product and to kind of understand how the scooping works, how to do the portion control, how to make a waffle cone. All that training will happen at the Delhi NCR, either at our factory or at our outlet. So I've already briefed everyone on how EMOI is different from various other formats which are available in the market. Whether it is the opportunity which the product as ice cream has in the market, whether it is the franchisee fees or the investment, whether it is the model which is mobile and movable, or the product offering, which again is the USP, very different from what is available in the market and very acceptable in terms of the young adults. We also have flavors for older people, something like a kulfi or a kesar pista. So we have the entire range of products which cater to all age groups. So I think that makes us an ideal investment and the best brand in this category when compared to others. Thank you so much. We are now open to questions. Rajiv sir can answer questions on operations. Nupur is here to answer any queries on marketing, Amit on logistics. So we are now open to questions. Thank you so much.
So thank you so much, Anand sir, for taking us through the entire presentation of EMOI. Now I have with me our very senior resource, our CEO, Mr. Prashant Bhandari and Anshul, to take all the queries. So I invite both of them. First, Prashant.
Thank you, Mr. Anand. I think
Hi, Prashant.
Very well articulated and very well explained in terms of how the industry is moving, plus the USP that you have. First, let me compliment in terms of the way the way you have explained the entire presentation plus the model. I wanted to understand how do we are we going through the normal market structure, which is basically distributors, retailers, and to the end consumer, or is it different from the other the market structure that we have currently in ice cream business?
So Prashant, hi, thank you so much for the compliments. And as far as the distribution is concerned, Prashant, since we were already servicing our own outlets on our own, so okay. and we started our retail during the COVID times. We we were managing the supplies ourselves. We were not looking at spreading ourselves too thin. So we were not going to the general trade stores. We were only looking at modern trade. So the good thing about the modern trade stores here was that we were getting consolidated orders and we could dispatch the entire chain of 24/7 in 2 days in a week, because we knew what to drop at, which store. But having said that, once we, scaled to about 120, 125 odd stores, we've signed up a distributor now. This distributor also handles other top brands of ice creams like Häagen-Dazs and Baskin-Robbins in Delhi NCR. We've taken the distributor route because we are still very, very lean in terms of our structure. We don't have a full-fledged sales team or the accounts team to follow up on payments. So now, while there are certain accounts where we think that we can handle and service on our own, but we have now offloaded most of our retail partners to the distributor.
So this is like a traditional distributor, retailer, and consumer methodology that we're going to adapt here. And I think this will be the best practice when we look at B2C.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. So scaling up, this is again part of the scaling up. You can't look at saving your distributor cost, because then you get stuck in a lot of day-to-day hassles. So we decided to now have a distributor on board and service all our modern trade stores, while we still service our outlets independently on our own.
Okay, and Anshul.
So if I can add on that point, Anandji, as we discussed, that we would also be looking at a master franchise strategy, and the master franchisee is built. All the products are built to master franchisee with a 55% margin, right? Where the master franchisee can retain 5% margin with him, and passes 50% to the unit franchises or the unit stores.
Yes.
On that note, the master franchisee can also be extended the opportunity to do the distribution and service the modern trade stores within his territory.
Absolutely, Anshul. Our master franchisee in a city becomes our brand ambassador. We work with them as a partner. Like I said, that we are still very, very lean in terms of our team. I don't want to set up a sales team in every city, because that is not what our vision is. We want to concentrate on the product. We want to concentrate on scaling up. We would definitely need partners who can take up the responsibility of a city, look after the other franchisee stores, look at the other opportunities like developing other channels, whether these are HoReCa supplies or opening more modern trade stores. So we are open to all of that.
So yes, so that is very important, friends, from a master franchisee point of view. And I'm sure Anandji did mention about in the presentation we've discussed about in terms of how we calculate the master franchise fee and the complete structure. But the key point that we've just raised now is that the master franchisee not only gets an opportunity to roll out the parlors and the unit stores, but he also gets an opportunity to service the modern trade stores, the HoReCa segment as well, as a distribution partner. So, and as I said, 55% is the margin given to the master franchisee. From there on, he passes 50% to the unit, plus the margins, the structure within the modern trade. Of course, company would also look at tying up with some leading modern trade chains. Plus, the master franchisee also gets an opportunity to develop this network within his territory. Right? The commercial terms, the margins within his territory would be managed by the master franchisee. Right, sir?
Right. Absolutely.
Correct. So, we do have a couple of other questions also. In fact, quite a few questions now. So one question that I would like to take up, in terms of how we will be able to stand out from competitors like Gyanis or other local push carts. Okay, so before I raise this question with Anandji, I think a couple of things very important. One, the focus on the product, like Anandji mentioned that this is a completely a handmade product, right? So that definitely puts us separately from the competition like Gyanis, which is a factory product, right? So that adds a lot of value. Second, the format itself, like doing the tuk-tuk format, and which becomes very exciting in terms of a low investment and low capex for the franchisees, right? So that also adds significant value to the overall proposal. So I think these 2 points. And anything, sir, if you'd like to add to that point, how do we compete with competition?
So if you look at Gyanis as a brand, I've seen Gyanis quite closely because I've managed food courts. So I think in terms of the product, we are very different. When I say product, I am talking both presentation and also the mouthfeel and flavors. If you guys have any queries, you can look at our website. The pictures you see on our website are real pictures of the products. That is not what Gyani is doing. Gyani again is a contemporary ice cream parlor format. They don't have any mobile cards. You can't take a Gyani parlor to a wedding or a party, whereas a EMOI tuk-tuk can actually travel to a wedding. You can also go to birthday parties. So that also opens up a lot of opportunities for us. Gyani again takes up leasable spaces and shops or kiosks, permanent kiosks in a shop, while we are there in non-leasable spaces. So there's a huge difference in the rentals and the electricity cost, the air conditioning cost, which is a recurring expense. A Gyani parlor would need about 3 to 4 boys on a monthly basis, while this can operate on 2 boys. I don't think Gyani will give an opportunity to their partners as a master franchise to put the product in modern trade. We give that opportunity to our master franchisee partners, which again opens up. So instead of just operating one point of sales, you are suddenly at 30 more places and making money from 30 more places instead of just one outlet. So Gyani only gives you that opportunity of one outlet, while we open that entire city for you. So I think that is how the brand is also different.
So I hope that answers the questions on the competition side. The second question, sir, that I would like to take up is on the promotion side, which is the marketing. And our investor friend, I think, is shown as 1+9R. But we can take up the question, which is on the marketing side, in terms of the role of both company and the master franchisee partner or the unit franchisee partner who would be handling the marketing. So a couple of things here. One, we have taken the marketing responsibility as we've shown in our financials also. The large part of the marketing is handled by the company, and that's where the central marketing fee largely is coming to the company only. While some of the local marketing activities can be handled by the unit franchisee, which is a very localized at a store level marketing, which means some newspaper insert, some pamphlet distribution, that can be given to the unit franchisee to handle. But largely the marketing and the promotions part is handled by the company only. Right, sir? If you would like to add anything.
Yeah, so while we are open to the proposals from our franchise partners, if they have some good ideas on local store marketing and they want to spend some kind of money, we would be happy to support them. And obviously that support would be needed during the launch and during the festival seasons or various periods in a year. Having said that, we've seen that the kind of TG we are looking at and the kind of customer we're looking at, digital marketing is a very, very important contributor to the entire marketing activity for the brand. And we all know that digital marketing can happen sitting in Delhi for even Meerut or a Hardwar or a Dehradun. We are not a brand which would be looking at putting up a hoarding or a large signage in the city. That is not the kind of money we are looking at spending on our marketing. Our marketing will be localized. Our marketing will be digital. So while we, like I said, while we are open to, supporting you on the local store marketing strategy and operations level, we will be supporting all our partners in the digital marketing. We make sure that the brand is present in almost all the major food festivals which are happening in various cities. Like I said, we even travel to Jaipur for the literature festival. We attend all the food festivals of Zomato or a Comic-Con. So that also becomes part of the marketing activity, increase the brand presence and increase the brand recall. Nupur can elaborate on it. Nupur, if you want to add to this.
Sure, I think you've covered most of it, sir. But as far as all the marketing communication is concerned, the design collaterals and all the copy of whatever we would want to promote, we would obviously share those open files, those printable files with the master franchisee. I think that is of prime importance to make sure that the communication is seamless and consistent throughout, because we as a brand definitely want to control that.
So there's one last, I think we can take up another last question, I think, and it's kind of important for all the investors to know which all areas are we planning to expand, and any specific area. There was one specific question from Andhra Pradesh. So if you can just tell us which expand and Andhra Pradesh specifically.
So Rajiv sir here was heading Gelato Vinto, and he understands the logistics well. While I said we were open to the entire India, wherever we are connected with the railway network, we are primarily looking at a radius of about 300 kilometers. Rajiv sir, why don't you answer this and tell them what our model would be and how would we be supplying to other parts?
Sure. Hi, good afternoon, everyone. Like Mr. Verma said in his presentation also, that primarily we are looking in North India, but we are again at the same time open to other parts of the India, depending logistically, we should be connected to railway network. So like I saw in the question answers that there is a query from Andhra Pradesh, we are definitely open, but only condition is that there should be a direct train from here through which we can transport the goods. Otherwise, we are open to other part of India as well.
Sure. Thank you, Rajiv. If I can add to that point, I think as you've shown in the presentation also, that up to 300 kilometers is from Delhi, up to 300 kilometers is what company would be focusing on phase one. Of course, there was also a question for Sirsa in Haryana, which of course can be done, yes, which should fall within 300 kilometers from Delhi NCR. For Andhra Pradesh and any other market, I think we should also look at a master franchise opportunity to come in, which makes it, logistically, feasible for the company and for the partner also. If we have a master franchisee for Andhra Pradesh, which of course can do a lot of store rollout and distribution of the product as well. And as you mentioned, direct train is of course there from Delhi to Hyderabad, that can be done, right?
Yes.
So I'm sure that answers the question for Mr. Shivakumar for Andhra Pradesh. One is that master franchise opportunity we should explore, and then logistics can be worked out.
There is another question I would want to answer, and this is a very big misconception. Chirayu Goyal has asked, this is a seasonal business. Yes. I also thought before I got into this business that this was a very seasonal business, but you'll be surprised that, if you look at North India as the market, North India is where, you have winters which are a little more than other parts of the country. For example, your west, your south is a 12-month market. What we realized was that December 21st to 5th of January is when the winters are at peak, but that is also the period when most people are there on vacation and they are in celebration mode. They are celebrating New Year and Christmas and everything. So you'll be surprised that December is our highest grossing month, and this is from the time we've started. So no, your cart business which stands on the street, your push carts of quality walls, or for cream bell, this could be a seasonal business. But for product like us, which are available on prominent destinations, malls, commercial buildings, this is the we are not seasonal at all in terms of our business. We in fact gross the most in these peak winters, which is December.
No, that I agree with you, and that holds true for the Pepsi and Coca-Cola companies also, because the sales still happens
Exactly.
whether it's winters or summers. So I agree with you.
So there is another question from Shiv Rathi about the if whether we would be committing some radius if we sign up with a franchise. Obviously, we don't want to spread the brand too thin and open too many outlets in one location. We would be very cautious of where we sign up, and everybody's interest is taken care of without cannibalizing anybody's business. That we will take care of. Thank you.
No. So thank you, Anandji, and thank you.
Thank you so much, Prashant. Thank you, Anshul. Thank you, Archana.
Before we end, I think there are investors who were asking for the connect or the telephone numbers or the email IDs. I would request, they can call us on our hotline number and our email IDs, and we shall connect with you with the, a key account manager who will be in touch with you and solve or answer all your queries or questions that you have on this special product or webinar. So thank you so much.
Thank you, Prashant. Thank you, Anshul. Thank you, Archana. Thank you, all of you. Thank you for your time.
Thank you so much. Yeah, thank you so much, the entire team of EMOI joining in today and giving us this opportunity to represent your brand to all the dear participants. I would like to thank my colleague Anshul as well as Prashant for taking all the queries. For registration, we really want to thank all our investors attending this particular webinar, showing all your love to us. Please do reach out to us at our business hotline number, which is 9717683838. We have also kept Discovery Day on 14th of September with team of EMOI, where Franchise India team will align all your direct calls with them. So if you are interested, you want to have more information on this particular business opportunity, please book your slot with us at our business hotline number. Also, you can write to us at feedback@franchiseindia.in. You can also connect with us at a different social handles. We are available at Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, as well as Twitter. You want guidance as well as input, suggestions, maximum business solutions from the management team of Franchise India. It's very easy to get it. Just join them on the LinkedIn ID, LinkedIn platform, information as well as link we have shared on a screen. And today we are celebrating our 100th episode for our Bharat Franchise Show. Today it's a concluding episode for us. So we request each one of you to join us, because it's a thank you from our side to all your love, your blessing and your participation during these 99 days. So do not miss this chance. Join us sharp at 7 p.m. And tomorrow under our business opportunity of a Chai webinar series, we are inviting the team of EFIL. It's a leading brand which is providing EV solutions to all of you. So please join us tomorrow as well as today for our respective digital show. Thank you so much once again for joining in today. Have a very safe day ahead. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.